I want to read a quote from Pope Paul VI. So this statement was delivered on December 7th, 1965. This is the day before Vatican II ends. And Paul VI says this peculiar statement, quote, "The magisterium of the Church did not wish to pronounce itself under the form of extraordinary dogmatic pronouncements," end quote. If I were sitting there that day as a bishop, I'd be like, what have we been doing for 3 years?
In Vatican II, as we've covered many times here, even Skilabix and many of those guys announced boldly, what we're doing is we're weaponizing some gray. A lot of these council documents are not going to say black. They're not going to say white. They're going to say gray, because even we know procedurally this is how to get things done. Later, we will abuse that gray, and we already know the manner in which we're going to abuse it later, right?
Yeah, Schilbeck style.
Right. So that just means, that proves the need for a hermeneutic of continuity.
Under Francis, there is this realization that if we allow the Vatican II documents to stand, and he's rehabilitating the sinister voices, right? The Nouvelle Théologie guy, the liberation theology guys are the winners. Look at who he's invited to the Amazon Synod. Look at the guest list. He is rehabilitating those voices. So the voices of intentionalism are breathing back into the documents.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And so what this does is it leads conservatives and trads like myself to look at it like a marriage tribunal. And we're like, oh, now we're looking at the intention again. The intention's being breathed back into these documents, null and void. This is why someone like Lefebvre signed the documents at the council, because he's like, well, original public meaning, if we interpret these in light of tradition, they can be interpreted orthodox. Well, then you get the guy in 1976, and he's like, oh, man, we got to just repudiate. I like what you said about intentionalism and original public meaning and Scalia, because I really do think this is where everything hinges in the spectrum of conservative traditionalists who have a problem with Vatican II.
Totally.
And depending on which one you choose, you're going to have a different solution, a different expected outcome. So it's brilliant in that sense. It's not just kind of happening. You have a pope who is commanding that those intentions be read as the meaning. So you look at the Abu Dhabi document, and you have Pope Francis taking the spirit of Vatican II and saying, no, this really is our intention for these documents.
That's where all of the stuff from your book Infiltration, laugh at it as Bishop Barron may, matters. People are out there laughing at at all endorsements of this. I mean, I believe this fervently for years. I believe Leo the 13th. I believe Gregory the 16th. I believe Pius the 9th. I believe Pius the 10th. I've got an algebra, calculus mind on this one. And it's like literally this plus this equals this. And it's the weaponized ambiguity that was really craftily done of the Council Fathers. Plus, they knew that that was the right hand. The left hand to follow, the punch to come, was they knew they'd been working up a system since the 19-teens, 20s, 30s, where they knew what was going to be happening in St. Gallen, Switzerland. They knew, the communists, the Masons, all these parties that had in fact been infiltrating the seminaries. Not that hard to do. It's not like saying we didn't go to the moon. It's really easy to just get a bunch of people in the seminaries. They don't vet them.
Yeah.
They knew what was coming was a pope or series of popes and a cardinalate or series of college of cardinalates that were very sympathetic to the ambiguous expressions they had just baptized with holy water and signed, sealed, and delivered at the Vatican Council, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just one piece alone. They knew there's this whole ingenious scheme, really, I think, in its original public authorship, authored by the devil. It's going to be a long slog, like they said. Yeah. They did this procedurally. We can undo it procedurally.